Welcome to Touching the Fire, where I hope to help you find the courage to touch the fire, ignite your creativity, and manifest your dreams into reality. So turn it up and let's walk away from fear and into excitement and find that passion within you to achieve all that you want in life. Hello, beautiful humans. Today, I'd like to talk about Lucky Girl Syndrome. Many of you have already heard of Lucky Girl Syndrome. It's gone viral on TikTok. And a lot of the content creators claim that this syndrome is transforming their daily lives and bringing them good fortune. This is Gen Z's spin on the power of positive thinking, things like the law of attraction, a lot of books that are out there like the 9 spiritual principles for getting everything you want. And this year's version, however, puts the emphasis on luck and consistently reminding yourself that the universe is co-conspiring to make good things happen for you because you are a lucky person. Now, they've gotten over 403 million views by mid-February. Much of the buzz about this trend stems from an influencer who told her audience she had tried an experiment after hearing a neuroscientist say the brain is especially receptive to remembering information upon awakening. She started saying out loud, "I'm so lucky. Great things always happen to me unexpectedly," every time she woke up. The 22-year-old New Yorker had always felt like a lucky person, she tells her audience. But she soon noticed that good things started flying at my face, she said. And that every single day thereafter she had a nice surprise, large or small. Now, there is power in looking on the bright side, and positive thinking trends can be useful when put into practice. But just like the movie The Secret, the first edition that came out was not quite so upfront. Yes, you can think this way, you can journal about these things, but if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the action, nothing happens. This is what's called in psychological research the belief effects. It's a very real phenomenon, and it forms the basis of mindset science. In a nutshell, we experience what we expect, for better or worse. If we expect things to work out for us, they generally do. If we don't, they generally don't. This is similar to something called confirmation bias, which is the tendency to test one's beliefs by looking for evidence that confirms them. Much of the time, people are unaware of their beliefs and don't appreciate the invisible influence that they can have. Because mindset can determine what people pay attention to and remember. It can motivate behavior and even affect a person's biology in ways that they can't consciously control. One example is the placebo effect, which can take over when someone is unknowingly given a sugar pill instead of a pain reliever, and somehow the headache goes away nonetheless. Researchers from Johns Hopkins Medicine found that people with a family history of heart disease who also had a positive mindset were 1/3 less likely to have a heart attack or any other cardiovascular event than those whose mindset was more negative. You hear doctors tell you that when they see patients with cancer, for instance, the outcome can be better if they're more positive than negative. And as we age, we possess more psychological resilience and are more at risk for depression, anxiety, and other mental health concerns. A study showed that older people experience more positive than negative emotions compared to the younger counterparts, which held true across culture, even during the stress of the pandemic. So for seasoned individuals, this thought form can greatly help you. Now, there's been plenty of criticism of Lucky Girl Syndrome and its predecessors, underscoring the privilege that these methods require. It's hard to tell if you're lucky if you don't have a home or enough food. And the shaming involved if you practice what they preach and bad things happen nonetheless. So rather than focusing on luck, there are several practices that are more likely to shift your outlook from negative to positive and help you believe that good things, large and small, are coming your way. Experts recommend practices like these: jotting down a list of things that you appreciate in a given day, as well as the things you are looking forward to tomorrow. Spending time with friends or family who make you feel good. Eating nutritious meals, and getting some form of daily exercise. Spending some time in nature. Keeping a journal in 4 parts is good. A daily schedule to keep you grounded and present. Affirmations written in your own authentic voice. Things that you're grateful for, written as casually as if it were a text. A script that you plan to manifest in your life. Influencers will advise their audience to interpret every good thing that happens as luck. Delete the versions of yourself that believes you're not lucky. And when something doesn't go your way, tell yourself that it wasn't for you and that something better is coming along. This will teach you that rejection is redirecting, while telling your subconscious you're open to better things happening to you. And despite all the positive steps you can take to enjoy your days, all humans are vulnerable to mental health concerns. Reach out to a professional if you begin to notice signs and symptoms of depression and anxiety. Mental health conditions are highly treatable at any age, even in older adulthood. I want to touch on toxic positivity. Looking on the bright side and seeing a glass half full is great, but try to avoid what experts call toxic positivity. Healthy positivity allows us to make room for a difficult reality while having hope for the future. But toxic positivity denies an emotion and forces us to suppress it. People using toxic positivity attempt to reframe or deny negative emotions rather than validating and dealing with them. An unrelenting pressure to appear happy and be happy in all situations, no matter what, isn't the answer. Positivity becomes toxic when used in conversations where someone is looking for support, validation, or compassion, and instead is met with platitude. It's also toxic if you shame people into feeling like they're not doing enough, working hard enough, or that their difficult emotions are invalid. If it shames ourselves for not being happy enough or positive enough, if it denies our reality, if it gaslights or silences someone who has legitimate concerns or questions, or if you tell people everything bad in their life is their fault. So it's important that you try to avoid toxic positivity. Lucky Girl Syndrome actually refers to one of the basic principles of manifestation. The term is based on the act of truly believing you're the luckiest girl in the world and that the universe is co-conspiring in your favor. This concept actually started back in the 1920s, when the concept of manifestation or believing you can alter your life by working with the energy that is around you came to the surface. The reticular activating system, or RAS, is located in your brainstem and helps you recognize patterns and process the things in your environment. It is directly involved in the process of manifestation. So, if you were to say, I want a Mercedes-Benz, you're going to see a lot of Mercedes-Benz while you're out that day. And as the brain is processing, if you're constantly connected to this positive energy, your brain is going to find Mercedes-Benz everywhere, along with the energy of the universe. So everything is energy, and everything is made up of energy. We are energy. Every thought form is energy. The same theory applies to Lucky Girl Syndrome by putting your attention on the things you want to draw in. If you wake up this morning and say, why does everything always work out for me? I'm the luckiest person in the universe. You are radiating positive energy that other people will pick up on. This theory states that you can either become a magnet to the things you want to attract in your life, or you can become a repellent by your ideology, thinking, and behaviors. You know, we can exude our energy field up to 6 to 8 feet around us. So if you're around somebody and you're like, I'm single, you're attractive, they're going to pick up on that vibe. And the same thing with money or opportunities or people. I recommend that people who are trying this out for the first time put reminders of their affirmations on what they want to attract on their phone and say it every hour throughout the day. By saying an affirmation every hour, your brain could rewire. Once your brain starts to naturally think that way, it becomes a lot harder to connect with the negative energy, and you're becoming a magnet to that wonderful, positive energy. Some people are debunking the craze, saying it could leave people blaming themselves for bad things happening, even if it's beyond their control. And critics have pointed out that it's especially hard for people with disabilities or people seen to be oppressed by systemic racism to think their way out of their situations. Lucky girl syndrome does sound quite crazy, but you might want to try it before you dismiss it. Just try to tell everyone that you're this amazing person and you're lucky and see what happens. If it doesn't work for you, then you have every reason not to believe, but it's worth a try. And remember, these things don't work like if you want to heal someone. You can think positively about their disease going away. But if that person doesn't want it for themselves or feels differently, you can't force your will on someone else. We're all made of energy. We can all practice this. I challenge you to do this. I stopped practicing this for a while in my life, and it took me down to pretty low places. I started to do this again, before this was even a thing on TikTok, because I always believed in the law of manifestation. And as I started doing it, doors started opening. And sometimes I still will sit here and go like, wow, because I do believe I am very lucky. And I do my best to bring you informative and practical things that you can apply in your life. And you will support me for that. Whether it's through views or your donations, you will support me because you find value in what I give you. I want to see each and every one of you to thrive and shine in this world. So give it a try and let me know how it goes. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for spending some time with me today here on Touching the Fire. I hope you found value in this and apply some of these tools to your own life. Let me know how that goes. And if you'd like to hear more on the subject of manifestation or anything else, just be sure and drop me a line. Now go out there and create something wonderful for your life.